ASIF. We are going to attempt to enter invoices from our Google Drive. Here are a list of files that are in the drive currently. I start with the beginning one. Sometimes a file only has one scan in it, and the next scans will show continuous pages. Sometimes the scans will have multiple files. It's up to you to make sure you see how many pages are there and make sure that you don't miss any. So our first one, we are going to enter the bill. So we go to Bill in QuickBooks, where you're already logged in, and we look at our invoice here. And if you notice, this is the fifth page right here. Unfortunately, it's sideways. And it has the total. And this invoice that ends in 324 is one of many pages. Here's page 4 of it. You don't need to enter page 4 or page 3. You only need to enter in the last page. So search for the last page. In this case, it's page 5 that has the complete total in. So we start in QuickBooks and choose the vendor. And as I start typing Cisco, S-Y-S, there it is right there, and I choose Cisco, it auto-populates with the last bill amount and the account number. I look here, and I'll hit the tab button on my computer, and as we can see, the delivery date on this one is 5/14/18, and this is the invoice number right here. So I'm going to tab until I get the bill date, and I'm going to choose 5/14/18. We don't do anything with the due date, we leave it there. And under bill number, we enter whatever the invoice or bill number is, and I'll show you some examples of it being different when it's a company that only has customer numbers. So we put our bill number in here of 190-663-324. And again, that's from right there. I hit the tab button and it highlights groceries where it should be by default. You don't change that. And I tab again. You don't put anything in the description. Under the amount, this lists the last invoice amount, and that has to be overwritten. You do not leave that there. In this case, we put in the new total amount, which is 4023.25. And now the invoice is complete, and I choose Save and New. And the bill was saved. If there's an error, or you've already entered this bill, it will alert you at that moment. So now we go through our scans, and this is the same invoice, just a different page. And again, there might be another one later on. And we look at our next bill. The distributor is NKS. That is our vendor. So we go down here and we type in NK, and there it is, NKS. We find it in our list. Again, I tab through until the date, the bill date. I see the bill date is May 14th. So I accept that. And the invoice number is right here, 238823, 238823. And as I tab along, it automatically populates with the account for liquor. And it shows the last invoice amount, which is incorrect. We're going to overwrite it. And what we do is we go to the bottom, and we look, and you have to be careful here. And if you're not sure and you think there's an error, alert me to it and I'll read it. This is handwritten. The bill is for $352.40, but there's a credit of $60. Poorly written, but these are the credits. 2 $30 returns. So the amount will be 352.4 minus 40. In QuickBooks, it'll do the math for you if it's not written. 352.4 minus, as you can see now, it's giving me an out of range, but if I subtract the $60 and hit tab, it automatically does the math for me. So this bill is $292.40, and we are done. And the bill was saved. We come back up. Since it's only one page, we know there's nothing underneath. We can go to the next page. And our vendor is Standard Distributing Company. So I choose Standard. There it is right there. And you're just going to have to get used to the nomenclature that it's the right vendor. And if you're not sure, positively sure, you simply ask me. There's Standard. As you can see, it has the proper address that matches this. So we know we have the right vendor. We go to the date, which is 5/14, and the bill number, which is the invoice number right here, 677-784. And we go down to the amount right here. And while this is hard to read, again, if you have any problems reading it, they've subtracted our amounts from it. We come up with a total of 518.50. So as we tab through, and it automatically populates with liquor as the account, we get to the amount and we put the final amount, which is 518.5. Again, if you are confused with that amount, go ahead and put what you think it is, but make a note in your email to me when you've finished. And we save that one. I'm going to continue on here. Lissio's Italian Bakery is our vendor. L-I-S, there it is, Lissio's Bakery, perfect. The date is 5/15, so I changed the date to be correct. And the bill number is, this one happens to be right here. And you'll get used to finding where the bill number is. 3782165. It's populated under groceries, and the amount of this bill, as I scan down, is 23.7 under the total. 23.7. I'm going to save that, and we continue on. You'll be doing that for all of these. Unfortunately, some do get scanned upside down, as you can see this one, Southern Glaziers. There's the invoice number. There's the invoice date right there. You can flip it around on your own computer, and there's the total amount to pay. I'm just going to go through these now and explain anything. Orkin, a little tricky. There's the invoice number right there. And the date of service is right there, 5/16. And the total amount, the current service, is $130. You don't have to worry about anything else with that one. American Beauty, the date, the invoice number, and the total amount. Smalls Insurance Agency, you'll occasionally get things that look like this, which are nothing more than just a solicitation or just basically mail that we save, and you don't need to do anything with this since this is not an invoice. Therefore, if it is not an invoice or a bill, you do not enter it. If it is a statement listing all of previous invoices, you do not list it. You only enter the invoices. I'll show you. There's an American Beauty again, as before. Here's Capital Uniform and Linen. There's our invoice number. There's our date. And there's our total amount right there. And we're going to keep going. There's another Capital Linen again. There's another Orkin. Invoice number right there. As you can see, this one is not anything you need to enter. This is the second page of one you just did. It will have the same service number right here, but it is just an announcement. It has no billing information, it's the second page. So you don't need to do anything. Here's one of the Cisco's we did before. This is page 1, so if you notice, it does have a total because it's only a one-page invoice, so you enter that the same way. Invoice number, date, etc. Cisco being the company. Lissio's Italian Bakery, we've done that one before. There's another one. Here's Breakthrough. You do have to be careful. Sometimes you're going to get duplicates. If you notice this invoice ends in 592. It's the second page, and there's our total right there. So you can enter that. But as you look, there's another page. That's a duplicate page. You do not need to enter it twice. It's just a copy of the same page. If you try to enter it twice and you do use the correct invoice number, it will alert you that you already entered it, and you should not continue with that one. This is the first page of the invoice, and this is a copy of the first page. And there's Lissio's Bakery. There's an Ecolab. Again, I'm going through all the invoices that I have right now so that you can see they are similar in status. They have the name of the company, the invoice number, and the invoice date. And somewhere down on the bottom, they're always going to have a total right there. Here's a Cisco, page 2. That is not going to have a total. That page needs to be disregarded. You're going to find the final page that'll end in that 324 right there. So you continue on. There's page 1 of the invoice 324. Again, this is just a check that was sent to us that got scanned. There's nothing you need to do with this. You can omit that. Just go to the next one. Here is a billing statement. Okay, we do have some companies that do list statements, and you're just going to have to get used to it. And if you're not sure, you're going to have to ask me. If a statement lists a bunch of invoices, you don't enter it. This is a billing statement, so technically it is a bill. It is Hartford Mutual. The date is May 10th. You find the last date that's listed there. This one does not have an invoice number. It has an account number, and that's what you'll use. If there's no invoice number, you'll use a customer number or an account number, and it's this. Be very careful when you enter that, and I will show you. I will actually enter this one. This will say your account number, bill number has been used before. We do accept it at that time because it's an account number and not an invoice number. And as we go down, this is the amount due, the total. Don't worry about each little detail here of balances. You just pay the total. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this. I go to Hartford Mutual, H-A-R-F-O. There it is right there, Hartford Mutual. If you're not sure, you can check the mailing address to see if it matches, which it does to this. There's the mailing address, so it matches, so we know we have the right one. And I'm going to tab through, and the bill date here is the 10th. The plus and minus sign on my keyboard increases and decreases the date. And the bill number now, again, I'm going to be using the account number 286338. I'm going to tab through. It's automatically populated as the account to use. That was the previous amount right there, and we're going to put in the new amount, which happens to be the same. That's just a coincidence. 1526.10. Now, if you notice, when I hit save with this one, save and new, a bill with number 286338 already exists. Do you want to save anyway? Since this is a bill that has only the account number, we choose yes. And it's saved just like a regular bill. That will happen for a few of the bills that you get. Mostly it's with utility companies and television utilities. I go to the next one, Lissio's, we've done that. American Beauty, we've done that. And now we are at the end. That is the end of all of those pages. So that quickly, I'm going to go back to the main listing, that quickly we would have done all of those. At that point, when you do a group of them, you tell me which one you started with. They're all sorted by last modified. and which one you finished with right here. And I'll know that you tried everything from that point. When you've done that and you've completed all those, email me that you've done it and any questions you have on any individual bill, and we'll work through it. Once you've done this a few times, I think you'll understand a little better. Thank you for your time.